So with COVID cases coming down, the focus right now is on unlock, and Delhi is lifting more curbs as part of its sixth phase of unlock. The government is now allowing gyms, yoga centers and private offices to operate at 50% capacity. Weddings and banquet halls will be allowed with 50 guests. Only 20 guests will be allowed for home and court marriages. Bars and restaurants will be allowed to open till 10 p.m. in the night with 50% of seating capacity. Malls and markets are open from 10 to 8 p.m. Now, public transport services like metro, like buses will also operate. Delhi reported 89 new cases with 4 deaths on Sunday. That means that the active caseload in the capital is at 1,568.
Yes, for people who are vaccinated, we have certain discounts. Somebody who's got the first dose, there is certain discount. Somebody who's got both the doses, we have got a certain special discount, and they're also being given preference when they're booking their slots in the gym. So definitely we have a very special place for people who are vaccinated.
हालांकि इम्यूनिटी और ये सब चीज़ें बढ़ती हैं जिम से, तो जिम तो सभी को करना चाहिए, एक्सरसाइज तो वर्कआउट तो सभी को करना चाहिए इस टाइम पे, तो लेकिन इस पर वैसे काफ़ी फर्क पड़ गया है अभी, तो लोगों को अभी दोबारा से स्टार्ट मोटिवेट करना है ताकि जिम आए और अपना वर्कआउट शुरू करें और अपनी हेल्थ को सही से रखें.
मतलब जिम इज़ द बेस्ट थिंग टू बिल्ड योर इम्यूनिटी, सो वी वर वेटिंग फॉर इट, सो वी आर वेरी मच हैप्पी. आई एम वेरी मच हैप्पी. Safety wise, of course, what we have to take, all I am taking, and the gym is also taking care of everything. They are sanitizing, they are keeping the extra mask on the desk for us if the member is not carrying, and they are checking the temperature also, and they are doing it.
Well, I'm happy that they are practicing social distancing. I'm happy that they are, ensuring that corona wave is avoided as much as possible. But I don't understand why gyms always is probably the last thing to get open.
So COVID cases are on the decline in the national capital. The positivity rate has also dipped, and that's why Delhi has relaxed COVID restrictions further. Restaurants are open with 50% seating from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yoga activities, gyms, as you just saw there, are now allowed to function.
With 85 cases recorded on Saturday, the national capital witnessed the lowest single-day spike in COVID cases. Delhi government has now decided to give more relaxations. From Monday, gyms, yoga centers will be allowed to function with 50% capacity.
We have created a slot-based system where a certain number of people are only allowed to enter into the gym at a specific time. So, and they're only allowed to work out for 45 minutes, 15 minutes for change, and they can go back. So 60-minute slots are given to people who want to come for a workout.
Marriage halls, banquet halls and hotels have been allowed to hold wedding ceremonies with maximum of 50 persons. The positivity rate in Delhi has dipped to 0.12%. However, cinema, theatres, spas, schools, colleges and educational institutes will continue to remain closed in Delhi. Swimming pools, entertainment and amusement parks have yet not been allowed to open. Amid dipping COVID cases, Delhi has been slowly unlocking. But Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has warned that national capital will enter into relock mode again if there is a surge in cases.
Despite all these easing in the restrictions, the social distancing, masking is going to be mandatory all the time in the public places. As we know, the third wave is now awaiting. The government doesn't want to take any chance, and so should the people. But for now, in the national capital with Ritesh, I'm Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
Ashutosh Mishra is joining us live now. He's in a gym in the national capital. Ashutosh, just speak to people around you. I'm sure they're all relieved that finally gyms are open to this phase.
Well, many in the national capital like me have really missed, the working out in the gym particularly. But since, as we see, the cases are already on the declining trend, and that's perhaps why, the restrictions are now being eased out. So as per the government guidelines, the gym can only function with half of its capacity. There are certain area restriction. If there's a 46 square feet, only one person can be allowed. So here, all across Delhi, since the gym are now open, the social distancing foot marks, that's, one owner has to ensure. Mr. Sethi, who owns this gym in Malviya Nagar, what are the precautions that you're now taking as far as the guidelines by the government is concerned, and how is the response from the people?
So, I'm also the Vice President for Delhi Gym Association, so I'm also talking on the behalf of the gyms. The SOPs were already made, okay, so we had to just follow all that. Along with that, we just have added the vaccination part to it, that we have got our staff vaccinated, and we have also told our members that if you're vaccinated, you have a special discount for you. So if you have done the first dose, you have got a special discount.
That's something really interesting offer. So how's the response that coming from the people?
So since morning, I am here since 5 a.m. and I'll tell you there are a lot of people who have come. So
usually, before pre-COVID era, this used to be, I'm sure, flooded with the people. But now you have to control the footfall.
So, see, before the last wave, the numbers who were supposed to come, we have almost 70% of the people have booked their session. So now we have an idea that definitely people will come. 70% occupancy we're expecting on the first day of the pre-COVID levels.
Ma'am, kitna miss kiya aapne lockdown ke dauran workout, and now it's open. How's the response?
I missed a lot, and I'm very happy that it's open today because it's very important in this weather for us to come to gym. And I think if we take care of ourselves, that is not a problem. If we sanitize our hands, machines, then it's not a problem at all.
Mr. Sethi, though people will start coming, there soon will be more and more footfall. You think the relaxation should further be eased out, the restrictions should further be eased out, looking at the declining trends in the capital?
Yes, definitely. We look at more people coming in. Definitely, there has been research which suggested that people who were exercising, the vaccination had done a better result. The immunity was better. Even for the mortality and the recovery with COVID was faster with people who were exercising.
All right. So you heard, the people, those have started hitting out the gyms. Also the owners, of course, the demands continue. But for now, it is a big relief for the people, those who are really keen to working out in this exercise area. Back to you, Akshata.
Thank you very much, Ashutosh, for getting us that ground report. The fifth phase of unlock has begun in Delhi today. So what opens up now this week? Gyms and yoga centers have been given the nod to finally open up with 50% capacity to ensure social distancing is maintained. Weddings were allowed up until now only at homes with 20 guests. Now weddings can happen at hotels and banquet halls. The limit, however, is 50 guests. The old norm of weddings at home still allowed. Court marriages also allowed. The limit still remains. The cap is at 20 guests. Bars and lounges can now open from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. with 50% capacity. Now, in the previous phases of unlock, markets and malls were already opened up. That remains the same. 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. they're allowed to function. Restaurants also are open and functioning in the national capital from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Dine-in services are also allowed, but with social distancing and maintaining all COVID protocol. Metros and buses have been plying for the last few weeks, so the norms with regards to their operations remains the same of 50% capacity. Autos and taxis are out on the roads, 2 passengers allowed in these vehicles besides the driver. Private offices also allowed to function at 50% capacity, at 50% workload. Now, parks and gardens, considering their open spaces, the Delhi government had given the nod for them to open up, but again, cannot be overcrowded. There must be a cap on how many people can visit these places. Other cities also are lifting restrictions slowly. Amid concerns of the new Delta Plus variant growing in parts of Tamil Nadu, the government has eased COVID restrictions. Lockdown will stay in place till July 5th, but in Chennai and neighbouring districts, clothing and jewellery shops are allowed to function without air conditioning at 50% capacity. Malls are open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. adhering to COVID protocol. Of course, no permission has been granted as of now for cinema halls and gaming centres. Only takeaways are allowed from restaurants. No dine-in services as of now. All places of worship can function, but special prayer pujas, any sort of special religious events are not allowed. All private offices will be allowed to operate with 100% workforce. This comes after the centre issued an advisory to Tamil Nadu alerting them of taking up immediate containment measures in few districts. It includes Chennai, following the detection of the Delta Plus variant in these districts. The state continues at this point to register a steady decline in daily COVID cases, over 5,000 cases in the last 24 hours with 91 casualties. Pramod Madhav is joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, good morning. Finally, you're seeing a lot of the restrictions being lifted in Chennai. But important to highlight that the state government is actually doing this even as the centre has advised them to keep some very strict curbs in place in cities like Chennai.
Absolutely, Akshita. We're standing at a location which is a prominent one in Vadapalli, and you could see the vehicles flying behind me as well. The factor here is that, like I said earlier, like I mentioned earlier, the numbers are still high. In fact, we have gone up to 5,000 cases so far, and the state has been completely divided into 3 tiers, of which the first tier is Chennai, Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur, and the 4 districts are coming underneath, where there is a lot of relaxations has been provided. And we can say that except for educational institutions, everything else is open at this point, and this is where the concern also arises, because right now we also got the information from the center claiming that Delta Plus variant is a variant of concern, and that has been identified at Kanchipuram, Chennai and Madurai, 3 districts, and this is the center has also requested Tamil Nadu to give utmost concern to it. However, for now it has been the Tamil Nadu government has decided to go ahead and provide relaxations, converting the state into 3 tiers, of which tier 1 and tier 2 have got the maximum relaxations for now.
All right, Pramod, thank you for those details. Some good news on the vaccine front. We've achieved another milestone as far as the vaccine drive is concerned. India has overtaken USA in total number of COVID vaccine doses administered. 32.36 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. And it's good to see that the vaccination drive is picking up pace by the day. You're seeing now in the numbers that are being registered, a lot more vaccinations being administered in the last 1 week or so. There's a full-blown political war that's playing out with the Supreme Court appointed panel submitting its interim report where it questioned the Delhi government's oxygen demand during the second wave. The Delhi BJP today will be staging a protest against the Kejriwal government at Jantar Mantar in the capital. The Saffron Party is demanding an apology from the Kejriwal government over the alleged oxygen mismanagement during the second wave of the pandemic. The BJP has accused the AAP government of criminal negligence after the Supreme Court panel's report stated that the Delhi government exaggerated consumption of the life-saving gas. AAP, however, has alleged that this report has been cooked up by BJP. They say that there is no such report even. As the political fight escalates over the report, you had the AIMS director, the head of the Supreme Court panel, Dr. Randeep Guleria, stating that the report is an interim one and that oxygen demand changes from time to time.
अपनी ओछी राजनीति के लिए करोड़ों लोगों की जान के साथ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने खेलने का काम किया। 4 गुना ज्यादा मांग खड़ी करके देश के बाकी हिस्सों की ऑक्सीजन का हक मारा। कई लोगों की जान उसके कारण गई। इस पर बहुत गहरी चिंता और बड़े कदम उठाने की आवश्यकता है।